Please remember to like, subscribe, and never forget to ring that bell.
Seconds away from showtime. I love this part.
We're back! Amazing costumes, amazing performances, amazing reveals.
Everything is bigger. The audience, the talent, the voice.
It's crazy.
What is up, everyone? I'm Chris Knight, and you are watching The Real Review 3000 here with another episode of Unmasking the Masked Singer. And yes, we are back on track, back on Wednesdays. And really quick, wanted to give a congratulations to the Houston Astros for winning the World Series. Two things. One, thank you for ending it in 6, so we got the Masked Singer on Sunday, and we're all caught up. And two, I hate you as a team, and please don't ever make it back to the World Series. Thank you. I love Houston. I just don't like the Houston Astros. So please, no hate mail. Just understand. I just don't like the Astros. But with that said, let's move right on to what happened on the Masked Singer on Sunday. It was 90s night. Great fun time. But again, that voting thing comes into play. Like, I just don't really think there's any barometer for exactly how it gets voted or what gets voted. Or sometimes I just think it's just like, hey, you know what? Just let this person go. I really think the Walrus should have gone to the Battle Royale. I'm not saying that the Walrus would have made it past the Lambs. I just think it would have been a much better showing, because what the Milkshake did was not horrible by any means. I'm not saying it wasn't like Honey Boo Boo stuff. It was just, there was no competition. It was like once he went, it was like, well, obviously the Lambs are going forward. There was no questions about it. So it was like an extra 10-15 minutes. It's like, why are you even going to bother with this? But they did. I'm not going to complain about it. Just saying didn't really make a lot of sense. But let's start with who was voted off first. It was the Walrus, and we found out the Walrus was Joey Lawrence. He sang Two Princes by the Spin Doctors, and really all of the clues pointed right to him. All of them. The Mall, Clued, Full House, Screaming Fans. They all worked perfectly for him with his short singing career. I'm sure he did the Mall tours like Tiffany and others had done. I'm really certain that he did. I didn't really look into it, but that. And he had a short sitcom. Well, I don't want to say short. He still does sitcoms. He's done many different sitcoms, but I just wouldn't consider him a huge star in sitcoms. But he was on Blossom, and I think Brotherly Love or something like that. So that works for it. And then he mentions his story starts in the 90s, and he spoke of tap dancing on a late night legend's desk. He really came into prominence in the 90s, but if you remember, he was on shows when he was younger. I think he was on Star Search. I know he did go to, he was on Johnny Carson. He tap danced on stage and sang, I think, give my regards to Broadway, I believe is what he's saying. And of course, Johnny Carson, I think, loved him. So that was kind of cool. Go back. I think it's on YouTube. Watch it. It's really funny. He mentioned flannel shirts or shirt, leather jacket. That's what he wore mostly on Blossom and Brotherly Love. But that was kind of his thing, the holy jeans. That was like the style back then. I mean, George Michael did it too, but of course, this couldn't be George Michael. Rest his soul. But yeah, he talked about killer zip code. I believe that's 90210. I don't know for sure, but I believe that's what he's talking about. And a catchphrase that's still cemented in pop culture. Whoa. Yeah, that's it. I mean, everybody knows when you say Joey Lawrence, everybody's like, whoa. It's like Keanu Reeves almost. But it not just all of that stuff. It did sound like him. It was very, very obvious that it was Joey Lawrence. Now let's move on to the Milkshake. Now again, like I said, no disrespect to him. I love the jump on it by Sir Mix-a-Lot that he did. I just don't think he was as good as Joey Lawrence was. So whatever, it's fine. The Milkshake was Le'Veon Bell, football running back. He was on the Kansas City Chiefs. He was on the Jets. He was originally and most known for being on the Pittsburgh Steelers. But there was the 90s reference again. most of his big name came from Pittsburgh, not in the 90s, but I'm assuming that's when he was growing up or going through college or something like that. I'm not really sure. He mentions picking up a blitz, the football reference right there, making hits since he was a kid. He says his rhymes made him the one the ladies admired. I assume, and kind of read into the fact that he has had a minor rapping career most of his life. He's done it on and off, and he said he dropped a mixtape that was certified fire. He did drop a mixtape called Life's a Gamble when he switched from the Steelers to the Jets. That was released in 2019. He also said he avoided the haters because what I've read is a lot of people just didn't support him. He thought his teammates would support it better, and they didn't. So I guess that's what he means by the haters. A lot of people just didn't like what he was doing. So maybe that's what that was too. The biggest name in the game reached out to collaborate. He has collaborated with Snoop Dogg. Then they say they try to throw me. Try to knock me down, and not to be soft. Those are two things he said. He was very known in National Football League for being hard to tackle and very elusive when he would run. At least when he was with Pittsburgh Steelers, he had a very unique running style. So that's what I believe that means too. And then I just have to say, I just didn't really see this coming. It didn't really register with me. I was thinking Tone Loc mostly. Looking back at the clues, yeah, it works for Le'Veon Bell, but it sounded a lot like Tone Loc too. That was kind of the interesting thing. So I had no clue about this one. Again, though, I don't think he should have gone to the Battle Royale. No offense to him. I think it would have been more suspenseful if Joey Lawrence had gone, but he didn't. Lambs, they sang Ironic by Alanis Morissette. Now, we're not going to go over all the other clues again, but Dixie Chicks came back up again from, I believe, Robin. And I just don't hear the country twang. I just don't. So I'm still going to lean with Wilson Phillips. Although of all the guesses I have heard, Dixie Chicks is the closest one, if it's not Wilson Phillips. If it's one of those two, I won't be surprised, but I'm still going with Wilson Phillips because of their harmonies together, and the no country twang in the voices. And it doesn't sound like, I don't know where the Dixie Chicks are from. I'll have to look that up next week, but I wouldn't say they're from the South, Southeast. And if they are, then that country twang will be in there, but maybe not. I'll look it up, find out, but I'm going to still stick with Wilson Phillips. The Harp and the Lambs are both going forward to the finals. The Harp, I still believe, is Amber Riley. Then up next tomorrow, let's talk about that. Tomorrow's episode is dedicated to Leslie Jordan, who unfortunately died, I think, a week ago in a wreck in Hollywood. Love him or hate him, funny guy. I mean, really funny guy. He's been on the show a lot. So I'm sure we're going to see some, well, I don't know that. It depends on when they filmed this, or if they're all going to film something separate to do it. Not sure. But if it wasn't filmed, but if it was filmed beforehand, we're not going to necessarily see crying or whatnot. But if there's any video of them right now or talking about him, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of people cry, because he was well loved in the industry through and through. People just loved the guy, and he had a lot of fans, and I'm sure tomorrow will be very interesting to watch it and see how he's remembered. So check that out. It is Hall of Fame night. I know that much. I know Bride's going to be on Gopher and Venus Flytrap. Other than that, I didn't really see anything else on the Instagram page that suggested any sort of clues or anything. So I'm not sure. I just don't know what we're going to get. But tomorrow, we'll find out. Hall of Fame night, guys. So who's been voted off? Again, we'll go through that. Night has been William Shatner. No guess on that. First performance. Hedgehog, Eric Idle, no guess. First performance. Hummingbird was our first guess. That was Chris Kirkpatrick, and it was correct guess. Then it was Pyrat, Jeff Dunham, no guess, first performance. Panther, Montel Jordan, no guess, first performance. Then the Mummies, Barry Williams, Christopher Knight, and Mike Lookyland. No guest, first performance. The fortune teller was Damon John. No guest, first performance. Maze, Mario Cantone. No guest, first performance. Mermaid, Gloria Gaynor. No guest, first performance. Beetle, Jerry Springer. No guest, first performance. Robo Girl, Kat Graham. We guessed that and got it correct. Then Walrus, Joey Lawrence. No guest, first performance. And Milkshake, Le'Veon Bell. No guest, first performance. We'll have to wait and see about the Lambs and the Harp till the end. So I believe we only got 3 more weeks with these guys, and then that would mean 2, 4, like either 4 or 6 more contestants, and then we'll get to the finals, I believe, with 3 people. I believe that's how they're doing it. Really don't know. Anyways, let me know what you've thought so far again of the format. Let me know what you think about the 90s night. Let me know if you think the Lambs are Wilson Phillips and if the Harp is Amber Riley. Let me know all that down in the comments below. And as usual, guys, I am Chris Knight. This has been the Real Review 3009, officially out of there.
Please remember to like, subscribe, and never forget to ring that bell. Follow Chris Knight and The Real Review 3000 on these platforms. For email and Patreon, see the description box below. To reach The Ego, use the Twitter handle @TheEgo5150. We would like to thank the generous members of The Real Review 3000. Those members are JJ, aka Sithlord 3827, Anzo of Bigger Ford Entertainment, Yvette, Sean Stackhouse, Captain Trek, Jesse Ritchie, and Abraham Morales. Thank you for your support and donations that help us at The Real Review 3000 bring you, the viewer, better content. For information on how to become a member, click the join button below.